The house was quiet that night. Only the soft hum of the refrigerator and the ticking clock filled the room. Then I felt something warm press against my leg. Not a dog. Not a cat. Something much heavier. I looked down and saw him sitting there, waiting, tail moving gently, eyes hopeful. He had followed the dogs again. And in that moment, I realized he truly believed he was one of them. I didn't know then how much that belief would change all our lives. When people first visit our home, they usually stop just inside the doorway. They hear the dogs moving around. They expect barking. They expect wagging tails. But they don't expect the sound that comes next. A soft, uneven clop on the floor. Then a small gray face appears. Long ears, short legs, bright, curious eyes. That is Oliver. He is a miniature donkey, and he lives in our house. Oliver does not sleep in the barn. He does not stay behind fences. He does not understand why people think that's where he belongs. Because from the very beginning, Oliver decided he was a dog. Not by training, not by force, but by love. He follows the dogs from room to room. He waits by the door when they go outside. He sits when they sit. He even sighs the same tired sigh at the end of the day. At night, when the lights go low, Oliver chooses his spot carefully. Right in the middle of the living room, close enough to feel everyone, far enough not to be in the way. He folds his legs beneath him and rests his chin on a cushion. Just like the dogs do, people often laugh when they see him, but once the laughter fades, something else replaces it. A quiet question. How did a donkey end up here? The answer begins on a cold morning, long before Oliver ever stepped inside this house. Oliver was born during an early spring storm. The wind had been sharp that night. Rain soaked the ground until the barn smelled of wet hay and earth. When we found him, he was lying alone in the corner. Much too small, much too still. At first, we thought he was a stray animal that had wandered in. He was no bigger than a house cat. His legs trembled when he tried to stand. His breath came in shallow pulls. A newborn donkey should be strong, able to wobble upright within minutes. Oliver could not. The veterinarian confirmed what we feared. His body was weak, his digestion poor, his future uncertain. There were no guarantees, only careful feeding, constant warmth, and time. So we brought him inside. At first, it was meant to be temporary. A few nights, maybe a week. We made a bed from towels and blankets, set alarms through the night, fed him every half hour, held the bottle steady while he drank slowly. Sometimes he would fall asleep mid-feeding. Sometimes he would nudge our hand, asking for more. The dogs watched from a distance, curious, confused, but gentle. One night, as Oliver slept, our oldest dog lay beside the crate. He didn't move, didn't growl. He simply stayed. From that moment on, Oliver was never alone. As the weeks passed, he grew stronger, still small, still fragile, but stubbornly alive. When we tried to return him to the barn, he panicked. His cries echoed until the dogs answered from the porch. He paced the fence, called to them, not to his kind, to his family. That was when we realized the problem. Oliver didn't just prefer the house. He depended on it. The day Oliver followed the dogs outside on his own, everything changed. The door opened, the dogs rushed out, and without hesitation, Oliver trotted behind them. His hooves clicked against the floor. He paused at the threshold, looked back at us, then stepped into the sunlight. From that moment forward, he copied everything they did. He waited for commands, tilted his head when spoken to, wagged his tail in wide, uneven arcs. When the dogs played fetch, Oliver chased the ball too. He never quite understood what to do once he reached it. But he ran anyway, just to be included. The hardest moment came months later. Oliver had grown, but not enough. Too small to defend himself. Too gentle to live safely with other livestock. The barn was no longer an option. Keeping him inside meant constant cleaning, rearranging furniture, explaining to visitors. It would have been easier to rehome him, to find a sanctuary, a place designed for animals like him. We talked about it quietly one evening. The dogs lay nearby, Oliver stood between them, leaning his side against one warm body, then the other, as if he sensed the weight of the conversation. When I knelt to scratch his neck, he pressed his forehead into my chest. Not afraid, not anxious, just trusting. That trust settled the decision. Some bonds are not planned. They simply happen. Life slowly found a rhythm. Oliver learned the routine of the house. Morning sunlight through the windows, coffee brewing, dogs stretching and yawning. He waited patiently for his turn to go outside. He learned where his water bowl was kept. He learned which cushions were his favorites, and which ones he was not allowed to steal. Yes, he stole pillows, not out of mischief, but because he loved carrying things. He would drag them across the yard, drop them proudly, then wait for praise. When laughed at, he would do it again. Bigger effort, wider tail wag. At night, he listened to stories read aloud. The dogs slept. Oliver stood quietly, ears twitching at every word. Something about human voices calmed him. Over time, his health improved. His steps grew steadier. His coat thickened. His eyes stayed soft. He never lost that gentle nature. If one of the dogs was anxious during storms, Oliver stood beside them. If someone cried, he appeared silently at their side, resting his head wherever he could reach. He didn't understand sadness, but he understood presence. And sometimes that is enough. Neighbors began asking about him. Children waved from fences. Some shook their heads in disbelief, but many smiled, because kindness has a way of showing itself clearly. Today, Oliver is no longer the fragile animal we carried inside years ago. He is still small, still different, still convinced he is part dog. He greets guests with quiet excitement, waits for approval before approaching, and settles in at night with a tired sigh. There are challenges. There always will be. But what Oliver gave us cannot be measured in convenience. He taught us that belonging is not about species, or size, or expectation. It is about where you feel safe, where you are seen, where you are loved. Oliver never learned what he was supposed to be. He simply became what he needed to survive. And in doing so, he reminded us of something easy to forget. Sometimes the bravest thing an animal can do is trust. And sometimes the kindest thing a human can do is accept that trust fully. Each night, when the house grows quiet again, I feel that familiar weight at my side. A donkey, a dog, a friend, still believing he belongs. And now, so do we,